Megans Studio. Be creative, be powerful, be yourself. Hi, I'm Megan.
And I'm Sam.
And welcome to Megans Studio. On this edition of Megans Studio, we will be making corn muffin cake pops. This is a delicious and fun and easy treat to make.
This recipe calls for 1/3 cup of milk, 1 large egg, and 1 box of Jiffy cornbread mix.
However, you can make your own cake mix if you wish to. For this recipe, you will be needing a baby cakes cake pop maker. This was purchased from Kohl's, however, you can purchase it from many other places such as Michael's. Next, you'll need a blending tool. For this, we are using a Krupp's Power Mix. It is a great blender and I highly recommend it. However, you can use a spoon if you wish. Next, you'll need a large bowl to mix all the ingredients in and a tablespoon for the cake mix.
Finally, we use a cooling tray for the cake pops once they've cooked, and a 2-pronged fork to remove them from the cooling tray.
Now we will begin making the recipe. First, we're going to add in the cake mix. Did you get it all down? No, you didn't. Next, we're going to add in the egg. I'm a little bit nervous. That worked.
And finally, the 1/3 cup of milk.
Now we're going to blend the ingredients on a medium speed. After you've blended it on medium for a couple of minutes, you're going to take it up to a higher speed just to make sure that all the ingredients got blended in very well.
Nice.
Thank you. Once you are finished blending, you may take out your blenders, and then we will start scooping them into the cake pop maker. This cake pop maker takes about 4 or 5 minutes to make. However, I would not trust the ready button. It makes it not cook enough sometimes. So you'll always want to make sure that you check it all the time. So we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of cake mix into here. Now, it is a little bit tricky, but that's okay. And you keep adding it in until it's completely full. And you don't want them to be filled up too high because it will make the cake pops too puffy and then they'll be really difficult to deal with. After I've done a couple, I'll let Samantha do some of them. And then after you've finished putting all of the mix into there, if you see one that you feel has a little bit too little cake mix, you can always go back and add more. Like, I think that one needs a little bit more, maybe. Don't you?
Yeah.
Couldn't remember which one. And all the rest look pretty good. So we'll see you guys back in a couple of minutes. Ding! Looks like they're finished. Ooh, that looks delicious.
They look perfect.
Now, as you will notice, we have brought up with us some toothpicks. These toothpicks are going to be used to stick into the cake pops to see if they're finished. Well, I think they're still a little bit wet inside, so maybe another minute. So, as the cake pops are cooking still, we're going to start talking about our designs for decorating them. Well, I think the smartest way to do it is to make the icing and take the cake pop and swirl it in it. That is the easiest way. And then you can decorate it with eyes, sprinkles, any kind of things that you want. So, I always like to make my cake pops very creative.
Yeah, you can give them all their own special personalities and designs.
So now we're just going to check on it one more time. They still seem pretty wet.
Yeah.
Not gonna burn myself. That one looks clean.
Yeah. I think just a couple more seconds and you should be pretty good.
Yeah, just a couple more seconds. See, it does say that it is ready on here, and that is pretty approximately right. But I would always just test it with a toothpick and make sure that it is absolutely perfect, because you don't want burnt cake pops and you don't want undercooked cake pops.
Exactly.
Now I would definitely say this cake pop maker is a great thing, and I love to use it like all the time. So I would totally recommend getting one. And everyone always thinks it takes so much longer, but honestly it doesn't.
It only cooked for about 4 minutes until it said it was ready.
Look, they're clean.
Yes, they are.
So make sure you unplug it before you start taking them out. And this is actually our first time doing cornbread ones. So, oh, they're brown on the bottom.
That's okay.
They're very cute though.
Yeah.
They have all their own personalities.
Yes.
And it depends, the size depends on how much cake mix you put in there. Like this one we added a little bit more, and you'll see it's very fluffy and more filled. But I think it's better to have them fluffy and filled. So, oops.
And once they cool in this tray, we'll get to begin decorating.
And there will be a part 2, so make sure you watch it. That is the icing and decorating part. And if you guys have any good ideas for decorating any kind of cake pops, make sure to leave a comment and tell us.
Yep. We'd be happy to hear your opinion.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next half.
See ya.
Welcome back to Megan's Studio.
This is the second segment, decorating the cake pops.
Once your cake pops have completely cooled down, you may begin decorating them.
This icing calls for water, powdered sugar, and honey to make a wonderful honey glaze for the cake pops.
This honey is wildflower organic honey from Santa Barbara. This is a very good kind of honey to use for a honey glaze. So this recipe doesn't really have its exact measurements or everything, so you just kind of have to work with it. So first we're going to add our lovely powdered sugar.
And we're going to water it down a tiny bit, but just enough to where it gets a wet texture. Yeah.
So we're just going to blend it on a low speed. So as you will notice, it's pretty runny. So we might want to add a little bit more powdered sugar. So basically all you're doing is making it to an even consistency, and just make it your own creation. Exactly what Megan's Studio is all about. Be creative, be powerful, be yourself. So now we're opening up the honey, and I'm going to say maybe 2 spoons of it.
Just enough to give it a good flavor.
1. That looks delicious. 2. Oops, I got honey all over me. Here we go. Alright. Actually, will you leave the lid down so I can get a spoon on it? So, this honey is very delicious. It's very sticky though, and drippy. Okay. Now, we're going to mix it. I would say even more powdered sugar, right, Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to add in some more? Oh no. A little bit more. Actually, it might need a lot more.
That's a little.
Now it's getting about the right consistency, don't you think?
I think it's good. Once we blend it all the way.
See, I go up on the edges with my blender just to make sure I get all the ingredients in there. And there's not any just leftovers sitting on the top or anything like that. Because we don't like our glazes to be chunky. It's supposed to be glazed and smooth. So now we're going to speed it up just a little bit. Now, just make sure that everything is all mixed in. We're going to check. Oops. Wrong direction. Sorry, Sam.
That's okay. Let's try this out.
I think it could use a drop more honey and a bit more powdered sugar. So, oops. It's getting stuck onto the spoon.
It's a good flavor though.
It is very
It
delicious.
needs to be a tad bit stronger.
It's really cool. You can create like creations on it with your honey. You know, even a smart thing to do you could just do some plain honey on top of it.
Yeah.
Maybe even more powdered sugar. It's just very runny for some reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we didn't even add too much water.
And it doesn't have to be a perfect consistency always, you know. You want it kind of smooth because it will harden up eventually, so. And it's easier to have it smooth just to layer it onto the cake pops. So now we're speeding it up just a little bit to mix in just about every single thing. Because I can still see some little balls of powdered sugar on the top. So I'm thinking that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So we're just going to leave that right there for right now. Now, I honestly think it's easier to take your cake pop sticks and to put it on the cake pop. Here you go, Sam. Here's one for you.
Thank you.
So you grab your cake pop. Oops, that one. Oh my God. And I'm going to do it with the darker side up. I think that'll be a little bit better. And I'm just going to take it and twist it all around in here. Just like that.
Oh.
Oh no.
Got a
Oops.
runner.
It's not exactly working out.
But that's the thing. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. It just matters if you're having fun and it turns out great.
So now we'll take a taste. Mmm.
It's delicious.
I would say it's definitely superb.
Mm-hmm.
However, some tips that I would have are they got a little bit sticky this time and they came a little bit apart, like this one lost its bottom. So I would almost say maybe put some Pam like on the pan, because not much stayed on there, but I still feel like it could use some. So, and the honey glaze, I think that turned out really well.
Mm-hmm.
It might have just needed to be more thick because it is quite thin, like it moves around a lot, and you know, but everything kind of worked out, and it's a delicious, fun, and easy treat to make. You'll see it wasn't very hard to make at all. So it was absolutely splendid, and I would definitely recommend making cake pops. And just one more thank you to Christian Oertli again, my editor and cameraman and filmer. And here he is.
I get one.
Yes, you do.
The bottom broke off. They're very difficult bottoms. But he is an excellent cameraman, editor, and brother. He has all of his equipment set up. He's the best ever, and he makes everything perfect. And a thank you to Samantha for joining us today on this episode of Megan's Studio. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe. Megan's Studio. Be creative, be powerful, be yourself.